All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
double honor to the apostle, now the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Okay, we are the Hebrew Israelites according to the scriptures. We're out here week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America. It's known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, man. Revelation, the 17th chapter. Okay, matter of fact, can we start off with Isaiah 13 and the last, set up the last 4 verses? Yeah, well, shot. We love going into the destruction of this place, man.
That's right.
Okay, every day we wake up, we pray that we're going to receive mercy in the day this place gets judged, because we know it's going to be judged. Okay, and every day we get closer to the judgment of this place. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
It's Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of the kingdom. Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrows Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right. And what was the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed? Because of the iniquities, or the sin stacked on top of sin, stacked on top of sin of the inhabitants of those places, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Now it says Babylon. Babylon in the ancient world is modern day Iraq. Okay? The landmass, that was where it was located. Okay? Now this scripture here is showing you, as we're going to continue to read, that it's not talking about ancient Babylon with Nebuchadnezzar in it. Okay? This is going into a different Babylon. Okay? Which is Babylon the Great. Okay? Babylon the Great is written about in the book of Revelation. Okay? So that shows you that there's still a Babylon out there that isn't the actual old Babylon. Okay?
Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
And it says the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. Now the Chaldeans were also inhabitants in ancient Babylon, but they were the sorcerers, they were the wizards of that time. They were the soothsayers. Okay? Those are the individuals that produced enchantments during that time. Okay? And they were known basically to be the wise men of that time. Okay, but on the left hand side, because they would go into all of the different wicked sacrifices and things of that nature that Israelites aren't supposed to go into. Okay, but those were heathens, man. Okay, but there were inhabitants in Babylon. Okay, so it says the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, which means that Babylon the Great, which is what this scripture is talking about here, is known as a place where sorcery flourishes and where you're rewarded for the enchantment that you do, because this place is sown in wickedness. Okay, all of the music and the movies and the symbolism, even in these buildings, man, it's all has wicked demonic vibrations on it. And there's been a lot of like the scriptures say, basically he's made a deep search, okay, to find the wicked things that he can commit, man. Okay, and get away with it. Go ahead.
Verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation.
Right, so here's the proof that this is not talking about ancient Babylon. It says, it shall never be inhabited. But the landmass of the old Babylon is still inhabited with humans. So this can't be talking about that Babylon. This got to be talking about another place. Process of elimination. Okay? Now, this is a prophecy that is yet to be fulfilled. But we mentioned at the opening of the camp that Babylon the Great, which is America, is going to be destroyed. Okay?
You got it. Yeah. So this was the daughter of Babylon, referring to the Edomites. Everybody want to try to put their twist on what they feel was supposed to get how about Shemiah says.
Right. Okay? And so this place is a product of all of the other empires that came before it, man. Oh, sorry.
Gone.
No, no. Okay. Yeah, you They shall never be inhabited. Okay, read the whole verse and then we'll go to
All right, come, verse 20. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their foes.
Right, so there will no longer be an America with downtowns and highways and airports and clubs and gas stations, corner stores. As you know it, this will no longer be a place of trade, okay? It'll just be a mass desert, okay? And that's what we mean when it's going to be destroyed, man. It's going to be like the aftermath of Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Okay? It's a massive desert with no humans will be able to inhabit, because it's going to be a wilderness. Okay? So, free for that, but just wanted to warm up with that. Now, like I said earlier, every day we pray for the downfall of this place, man. Okay, so we're going to go, Lord willing, into the mindset that's required for us to endure until that day comes. Go ahead.
Hebrews 10 and 25. I'm going to start at 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love.
Right. Consider one another. Does that mean, the Edomite across the street that you may see, you consider him and provoke him with love? No. That's talking about amongst the body, right? So this letter is addressed to, what is the name of this book? The Hebrews, right? Okay? Specifically the Hebrew Israelites. So that is what this letter is addressed to, just as a preface. All right?
It says, and to good works, not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
Can you read again from the top?
Hebrews 10 and 24. And let us consider one another to provoke to love and to good works.
So we provoking one another unto love and unto good works, meaning we're basically exhorting one another, pushing one another, rooting each other on, saying, hey, you can do it. Let's do it together. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? So we're showing by examples of ourselves what we want to see in other believers. Okay? Go ahead.
Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves together.
It says not forsaking the assembly, meaning the camaraderie and the association and the fellowship of this truth should not be taken, for granted, man. You should really utilize the opportunity of being able to fellowship with the brothers, man. Okay, because I don't know if it's Psalms 133 or Psalms 130 where it talks about the how beautiful it is, basically brothers to dwell in unison together. It's like 130 something, I believe. Okay, it's like a 4 verse song.
Yeah, 133.
It's a precept that goes into the benefits of the brotherhood, man. Okay, go ahead.
Continuing on, it says, as the manner of some is, but exhorting one another.
Not forsaking the assembly of one another, as the manner of some is, meaning that other individuals may not actually take advantage of the brotherhood. They may not associate themselves with the brotherhood, which causes lack of communication, disagreements, and it can lead to arguments and strife. Okay? Go ahead.
But exhorting one another, and so much the more, as ye see the day approach.
It says exhort one another, and even more so, we should be willing to exhort one another in these last days and the last days, because we're seeing what? As you see what?
It says, as ye see the day approach.
As you see the day approaching. What is that day? The day of how about Shem Yahshua, the day that we prayed for that we mentioned earlier.
That's
man.
right.
Okay? We're waiting for the day where Babylon is, like the scripture says, left without an inhabitant. Okay? We see that day approaching because we are the, Lord willing, we are the seers, right? We see before, we're the prophets. We're able to have that foresight, okay? We have spiritual eyesight, all of that. We're able to see what's going to happen before because we believe in the scripture. Go ahead, bro.
2 Peter 3 and 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, I started at 10, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night.
And who is it going to come as a thief in the night to? The individuals who are sleeping. A thief in the night. What do you do at nighttime? You sleep. Okay? But if you're on your watch, paying attention, the individuals who would guard the cities, who would stand upon the watchtowers in the ancient world, because in the ancient world we had walls around our cities, they would be awake while everyone was asleep. Okay? And so those would be the first people to know if danger was coming. And they would alarm the rest of the people. And what we're doing is alarming the rest of the people by coming out here every week, Lord willing, some brothers twice a week, to tell our people that this day is approaching, man. The Lord is about to return. How do we know that? Through the prophecy. How are we able to identify where we are on the Lord's timeline? Through the prophecy, man. Okay? More?
In the west, in the west, the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right. So, the elements melting with fervent heat. The heavens passing away with a great noise. Don't you think a thermonuclear explosion would be pretty loud? I think so. You'll be able to melt the elements, melt the trees, melt the telephone poles, melt the streets, melt the pipes underneath the street, melt the skyscrapers, right? Melt the people, melt the dogs, melt the fish. Everything will be vaporized, man. Okay? In that day that we're talking about. Hello?
The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation and godly?
Right, because we believe in a possibility for escape.
That's right.
Okay? And really, that escape is really salvation through the chariots of the Most High, man. Because we won't physically be able to do anything within our means to build something to be able to endure it or run to the certain part of the earth where we'll be able to escape. No. This is talking about, like the scriptures say, man, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, they are spiritual. Okay? So with that being said, we begin on a salvation that is going to require spiritual intervention. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 12, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what we're looking to. That's what this year is deemed by our apostles. The year of the hastening of the day of the coming of our Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. You know, pretty much just being in order on all the course, you know, at the front of the course.
Yeah. Matter of fact,
Brotherly love.
let's get that in Peter, 1 Peter 5:5.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 5. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another.
This going into order. It says the younger submit themselves to the elder, man.
Done.
Okay? So what do? We focus on the individuals or the men, actually, men of the Lord that's been toiling in this truth longer than us, and we learn from them, man. Okay? Like the scripture says in Jeremiah 5th chapter, I will give you unto great men. Okay?
It says, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility, for the Most High resisteth the proud.
It says, clothed with humility, for the Most High resisteth the proud, man. Okay, meaning that, understand that the mission at hand is required to be performed by more than just yourself. It's larger than just one person, man. Okay, as far as the task that we've been given. Okay, we have to execute this thing as a unit, man, as a group and as a body. Okay, and so that requires order, man, to be able to function properly. Not chaos, but order. Okay. Is there more?
For the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Verse 6, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand.
It says again, the Most High gives grace unto the humble, man. And that's exactly what we need, knowing how much we screw up every single day. Every day. If you, man, if you don't think that you don't mess up every day, man, hey, we need grace, man. We need mercy. Okay? So what is it? What does he say? He has grace unto who?
It says, in verse 5, for the Most High resisteth the proud and giveth grace to the humble.
He gives grace to the humble, man. Okay, so learn what that means. He's willing to take the load, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6, humble yourselves therefore under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time.
And that's what we hope for. We hope to be exalted, right? So we gotta humble ourselves under a power who's worthy to be revered. He's worthy to be respected. Okay, he's worthy to be obeyed. So that in due time we can receive that exaltation, man, that we hope for. You know, that eternal life, the dominion, all of that stuff, man. Okay, the promises. Is that on there? Okay, kind of.
This Philippians chapter 2, in verse 3, it says, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory.
It says vain glory, because really people who exalt themselves to make themselves look like somebody basically amongst the nation, man, that's vain. His vanity is empty. There's no benefit in that, man. Okay, to exalt yourself, to make yourself puff up yourself, okay? Because at the end of the day, we're all men in this thing. We all need salvation. We all need mercy. Okay, because we have all come short of the glory of the Most High, man. We've all been subject unto sin at one time or another, man. Okay, so that's something to remember. Oh, you got that word?
And it says, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other. Let's slide. That's right. It says, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
It says in lowliness of mind. Okay. Another word for lowly is humble and humility. In lowliness of mind, let each esteem one another better than themselves. So you're supposed to look this brother not with a hateful eye, okay? Not with oh man, this brother ain't doing this right. You know, he ain't Most High ain't really dealing with him like how he's dealing with me. Okay? No, that's not the mindset to have. The mindset to have is to esteem this brother higher than yourself, man. To the degree as I view this brother as a man of the Lord. I'm gonna treat this brother just like how Yahweh Shai would treat him, right? Okay? And when you do that, you're fulfilling the will of the Most High, man. Okay? Because he wants you to love your brother as you would love yourself. Okay? And so that is, these are the fundamentals of the law, as the scripture says. Okay?
This Sirach, chapter 1, verse 30, it says, exalt not thyself, lest thou fall and bring this honor upon.
Exalt not thyself, man. Exalt not yourself. Exalt not thyself, lest what?
It says, lest,
no, that's towards the end, right?
Yeah, no. Lest thou fall and bring this honor upon thy soul.
Yeah, so you puffing yourself up, boosting yourself up, putting yourself on a high pedestal, and the Most High bring you down, just like how he did with Nebuchadnezzar.
Yep.
Matter of fact, was that Daniel the 7th chapter? No, I'm sorry, not 7th chapter. Like the 6th, or was it after the 7th chapter? Was it like the 9th chapter or something? Yeah, it's like. I think it's before that, bro. Let me see what chapter it is. Okay. Yeah, I can't quite remember what chapter it was.
Yeah.
Was it before?
The Spirit had me trying to run to it. It's before.
Okay. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, you got it.
Daniel 4 and 31, while the word was in the king's.
Oh no, read up, Bible shop. Like the Most High told me.
Okay. You gave me some interpretation. Interpretation.
Basically where it's prophesied unto him.
Yeah, this is
gonna happen. Yeah. Go ahead.
Daniel 4:24. This is the interpretation, O King, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my Lord the King, that they shall drive thee from men and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right, 7 years did the Most High basically bug him out to where he was in the fields and in the wilderness, though he was the king of the most powerful empire, up until that time, really. Okay, because I think he said something before then. Can you go back and see if it said something a little bit earlier when we started, where the king might have said something, like verse 22. You know what I'm saying? Okay, try verse 22.
22, it is thou, O king, that art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown and reaches unto heaven.
See that? So he was exalted. So he didn't, the Most High exalted him at that, at that point. The Most High allowed him to be exalted, right? He allowed him to be king of Babylon and take over the kingdom of Israel, specifically the kingdom of the southern kingdom. Okay, go ahead.
And thy dominion to the end of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and an holy one coming down from heaven and saying, hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the roots thereof in the earth.
Right, he was cut down. Well, it's going to go into it, but he was representative of that tree. Okay, but the reason why the roots were left is because he was going to be able to regrow after the Most High allowed him to come back from his madness over the course of those 7 years. Go ahead.
Even with a band of iron and brass and the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let its portion be with the beasts of the field.
Right. So wet with the dew of heaven, meaning that it was out. The tree represents Nebuchadnezzar. Well, it said it was wet with the dew of heaven. That means it was outside. If you sleep outside in the field,
You gonna wake up wet.
when the morning time comes, you're gonna have water, or you can be freezing, cold as hell. But on top of that, it's gonna be wet grass all around. It ain't because of rain. It's because the dew. Because the Most High caused dew to come, upon the earth. Basically, by the time the morning rolls around, the grass is wet. Go ahead.
And let its portion be with the beasts of the field till 7 times pass over him.
Right. So that was the vision, right? And then you broke it down, so you keep reading on it.
Verse 24, this is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which has come upon my lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen.
Right. So when it says he was going to be driven from men, he was going to go away from the abode that he had, right, which was his old palace, and live outside like an animal. Go ahead.
And they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
And that's the point. Until he became humble, until he understood that the Most High is in control of everything. Right? And that's the point we're trying to make. We're going to keep reading a little bit more, but this precept the brother brought out reminded me of this account. So,
and giveth it to whomsoever he will. Verse 26, and whereas they commanded.
It says that the Most High gives the kingdom, the water to whoever he wants to give it to, man. So if the Most High has allowed for the self-proclaimed white man, these demons right here, go on, can you get the sign real quick, Bubba Shop? Hold the sign real quick. Hold it up for the camera, the brothers to see that this is the man that is ruling the earth because of the will of the Most High. Okay? It's not of his own. He ain't that smart. He ain't that cunning and crafty enough to overpower us. It's the Most High who allowed this man to come up.
That's right.
Okay? Because towards the tail end of the dark age, you see my fingers. Towards the tail end of that, this man started coming up.
That's right.
Okay? And during the beginning of the Renaissance period up until now, he's been gaining power over the course of, several hundred years into this empire that you see today, not just America, but where's the
Look at
this here. It's here, man. Because the beast system, okay, is not just America. As you can see, we
Y'all can
have
bring it down.
Canadian Major, Canadian Minor, Rome, France, Spain, Britain, Greece, okay? And then you have also the horn, the 10 horns, man. Okay, which is representative of the European Union, which the European Union is comprised of more than 10 nations. But these are the original, basically the original nations that during the time of the Roman Empire were also in league with the Roman Empire. Those vassal states were also in league with Rome. Okay, and this is that revamped beast, man. Okay, those same beasts you see listed here. Okay, so with that being said, man, okay, that's all the will of the Most High that these individuals here, the elite bakers, let me get this real quick, bro. The elite baking families have been given the dominion of the earth, man. Okay, it's like so go ahead and read that verse, Michael, sure.
Daniel 4 and 20.
This answers two questions. You know, why did the Most High give power over to the other to Nebuchadnezzar, and then why do these people have power now? Right?
Daniel 4 and 25, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
Right, so that should make sense now. Okay? It was important for the Most High to show Nebuchadnezzar, hey, look, my dude, I put you in rulership, but I can take your ass out of rulership anytime I want to, man. I put you in rulership. You put yourself in rulership, man. And that's when we start to playing white people, man. Okay? You're not that much better. First of all, you're not better than us, period, but you're not that much better than everybody to where you just earn this kingdom, man. No. It was given to you, man, for a specific period of time. And guess what? The things that you did that you chose to do while you had the dominion is going to be recompensed, especially the things that you chose to do against the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Okay? All the atrocities that you Edomites committed, man. Come on, bro. Hey, Kwan, can you hold this instead? All of the atrocities that you just committed, okay, is going to be rewarded unto you, man, double. Okay, like the scripture says in Revelation the 18th chapter. Okay, but going back to the point, man. Okay, it's all the will of the Most High who we left to be empowered. So when we empower you, you ain't gonna be able to say nothing.
That's right.
It's the will of the Most High.
That's right.
Okay. Go ahead, bro. You got me too.
Luke 14 and 11. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
Yep. Whosoever exalted, matter of fact, you break that. Yeah, whoever exalted himself, whoever brings himself and boasts himself up, thinking himself to be somebody, like Judas in the book of Acts. Okay, he boasted himself up, and basically he ended up getting killed, man. He was cut down. Okay, now we're gonna finish the account. Oh, yeah, well, yeah,
He exalted himself. Most of the
that's what we're gonna get, because up until this point, it's not yet shown what was the cause of him being cast out from among men, right? But he is going to show when we read it why that happened, like what was the cause that made himself, that allowed him to go into the wilderness and be bugged out. And then we'll go back to that.
Daniel 4 and 27, 26, whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. After that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule.
Right, so it says, thy kingdom shall be shown, what shall be what?
Thy kingdom shall be
Sure, yeah. Well, meaning basically he was gonna acquire rulership again after the Most High took him from that state that he was in. Okay?
After that thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule.
Go ahead.
Wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thine iniquities by showing mercy to the poor.
Right.
If it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility.
Right, so basically saying, hey man, tithe You know, give alms and tithes and offerings, man. Okay, because it may be that the Most High have mercy on you and allow you to make it through what you finna go through.
That's right.
Okay, and so it's important to remember. You know, we don't bring this out every day because it's like it's already happened. But just like how we prophesied the downfall of America, okay, that's how this prophecy is going to be like, man. It's going to eventually happen, man. It did not happen, okay? It just took a shorter period of time for it to happen. But it was prophesied, okay? So what do we expect for to happen to this place, man? You know, once we read all the prophecies and talk about it being brought down, okay?
It's a Rock 40 and 24. Brethren in health are against time of trouble, but harm shall deliver more than them both. Like I said, I'll read it again.
Yep.
So Rock 40 and 24, brethren in health are against time of trouble, but arms shall deliver more than them both. So throwing up those scriptures together, and like you said, tithing, man. You know, it may not seem like you know what I'm saying, like it's just, but hey, that's gonna take a little bit, man. From you being just giving that, what they say, how you say it, that charity, man.
Yeah.
You know.
It says charity covering multitude of sins.
Man, this I'm linking up with the brother that account of Nebuchadnezzar, how the brother's going into how the modern these devils right here, these rich international banking families, man, you know, these elites, they gonna be like Nebuchadnezzar, man. You know, Isaiah 14 and 16, I started 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. All right, so you're gonna be brought down to your hell, man, slavery. You know, verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
Wait, turn over actually starts
verse
verse
12.
12.
I started 13. It says Isaiah 14 and 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High.
Yeah, because we're comparing ancient Babylon to Babylon the Great, okay? To the daughter of Babylon, okay? Which really, this is talking about the daughter of Babylon, okay? Like it talks about in Scripture talks about in Psalms 137, O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed, okay? The daughter of Babylon was prophesied before even Babylon came and took over Jerusalem, man. Okay, so this place is a long time coming, and it's a long time destroying too, man. Go ahead.
I will exalt my throne of I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Right, that's what he said in his heart. I'm going to ascend above the stratosphere. I'm going to be like the Most High and have my kingdom in the heavens as well. I'm going to create these 120-story buildings, you know, and live above the clouds. I'm going to be like the Most High. Okay? I'm going to have these space stations. I'm going to create my chariots. Because you got to think, man, only things that were given the power of flight really are like birds.
Yep.
And then the chariots, of course. So what did this man do? He looked at the Most High's creation. I seen a post on social media that showed the basically the shape of certain hawks from the side profile. So imagine if he was flying, if the bird was flying straight, you took a picture of the side view. The shape of the planes and the jets, stealth fighter jets that Esau made, are pretty much identical to those shapes of those birds, but the planes have to fly faster because they're much heavier, so they have to create a lot more wind resistance to be able to keep, to keep lift.
Yeah.
You know, so he gets everything from the Most High, man. Esau he ain't that slick, it just make it look like that because the Most High has given this man so much dominion, and like the Scripture says, many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Okay. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
Right. So even though all of these things you've been able to accomplish, there's a lot of the stuff that he says he's accomplished is BS and lies. Okay. But out of the things that we can see, okay, yeah, You know, you got your airplanes, okay? You know, you got your science and your computers and all this stuff, okay? And your weaponry. Yet you will be brought down to the pit. And I'm almost willing to bet that that word in the Hebrew is sha'awal, man. It's the same word that you Christians call hell. Okay, because that's really what it means. Pit or the
grave.
Is the same thing as hell. Okay,
The word pit, Strong's H953 for war. It says a pit hole used as especially one used as a cistern or a prison.
yeah, prison, man. Yeah, so he's gonna become a prisoner, man. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. After all of this stuff that he's been able to get away with, he's gonna have to pay that tab. Okay, he's gonna be judged according to his doings, and he's gonna be punished, man.
That's proof that they're gonna be in slavery right there.
That's
They're
right.
They're gonna be in prison under the Israelites.
Yep. Matter of fact, can somebody get Isaiah 22? Excuse me, 24.
No, I was about to.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
That's the one I was about to get.
Yep.
I'm just gonna pull that, bro.
Yeah, go for sure, man. What's a vagabond mean, man? Somebody who's guilty but ain't punished yet, man. It's a runaway. What they call it? You to get out of jail. Like runaways or some shit. Not runaways, but you know what I'm talking about. Fugitive, man. Damn, a fugitive and a vagabond, man. Are you a fugitive, man? You guilty, man. You escaped. You to temporarily prolong your judgment, man. That's all a fugitive means. It's an unpunished criminal.
That's right.
Okay? That's what this demon is. You got that,
This is Isaiah chapter 24 and verse 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh Bashar Shai shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth.
Wait. It says, bro, is that not like a parallel scripture to what we're reading? It says, he will punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high?
Right.
The high ones that are on their high horse, man. They on they Edomite swag, you know, on 1,000, man. They on their Donald Trump shit, man. Like Mac Miller said. Okay? Go ahead.
Verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit.
Right, so you think of the pride of these Edomites. Imagine the look on their faces when they are brought into prison, essentially, captivity and slavery.
That's right.
Like they had us. It's a taboo subject because it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Man. I was watching I don't know why it was. I was watching an interview of Quentin Tarantino, which Quentin Tarantino, if you don't know, he's like a famous movie producer. And one of the movies that he produced is Django, right?
Yeah.
So, and this was like when the movie first came out. And I can't remember the radio host, but he's a famous radio host, I don't remember the name, it's not important. But the radio host was asking Quentin Tarantino, like, you know, like, why did you choose to use the N-word so much? And basically, how did you feel, you know, when you were, like, what was the hardest part about making the movie, right? So when he answered, what was the hardest part about making the movie, you know, it was the fact that he was so ashamed about the history of America, where he had to recreate those scenes where, you know, they had slaves in there, showing the slave towns, having those whipping scenes. For anybody who hasn't seen the movie Django, it's set in like the mid 1800s or some shit, like right before the Civil War, basically. Okay, in the South. So there was a lot of scenes where, you know, you had slavery, and of course it was acting, but that shows you, man, that these people are ashamed of their history.
That's right.
But guess what? That doesn't take away from the fact that they're going to have to receive judgment according to what they've done, man. Okay, because deep down, if they truly would have repented, because this is just Quentin Tarantino speaking, but these devils ain't really sorry for that shit, man. They just don't want to be publicly shamed, man. Okay? Okay, go ahead.
It's a Rock 41.
There you
And
go. There you go.
verse 7, it says, the children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake.
That's right.
41 and 7. It says the children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake.
Yeah, man. So they're going to, man, the children shall complain of the ungodly father. Now the scriptures say in the book of Genesis that basically you're going to be punished according to what you've done, right? Not according to not your children. Your children not going to be punished. You're not going to be punished for what your child has done. Your direct son or grandson, right? But we understand the concept of reincarnation, regeneration. Okay, so the spirit that died, the spirit that inhabits a body lives a life, and that body dies. The physical body dies, becomes recycled, right? So it goes through that, that process of, going into the spirit world. Okay, and then what happens when a baby is conceived, conception,
Spirit.
their soul gets sent down to that body, man.
That's right.
And that's why hey, you demons think you're getting away with abortion, talking about my body, my choice, man. All the people that kill their babies, most likely going to judge you too, man.
That's right.
You sacrifice them to Molech. But anyway, it says the children, the wicked shall complain of the ungodly father, because all the things that they've done in their past life, they're going to be like, damn, I wish I didn't do it, because then they're going to have to pay for what they've done. Okay? You always regret what you do after you do it, man.
That's right.
Okay? And not only, well, actually, no, I'll take that back. Most people regret, and they say they're sorry for what they do when they get punished for what they've done, for the transgression that they've done, right? Because really, you ask him if he's sorry, man, he might say, oh yeah, my fault, but he don't give a damn, man. Otherwise, he would return unto us what we, was rightfully ours, man. He would take his ass back to the caves in which he came. But really, he once dwelled in the Caucasus Mountains, but he's really from Mount Seir, man. Okay, over there, in
Georgia, Russia.
In the Middle East, pretty much. Okay, that's where his origin is, his stopping grounds, if you will. Okay, but he did once dwell in caves as well, man. Okay, now
It's actually, if I could add, it's actually Petra today.
yeah,
It's actually Petra today. So
yep.
that's
Yeah, I don't know. Can you Google that? Like, is it gonna show up like some?
I think
You know how
it shows
East,
it like
is it gonna show like an actual location?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, yeah, it should actually. That's when you get Google pictures from. But Esau be changing the.
yeah. Well, it looks like the back of the $5 bill.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
when he gets. Yeah, show the press make it big real quick. And, the picture will show up. The picture right there. No. Yeah, it's all good. Just click the. Yeah, there you go. It's all good. Show the camera. So you see, that's Petra, right? That's the OG. That's the OG America right there.
Right.
Okay. Before Greece and Rome and all that, that's where he gets his. Yeah, well, yeah, the style. As a matter of fact, you turn the camera around, you can see it's kind of the same. Let me see. Hold on, damn. Let me see. That's crazy, right? He got the same building design.
Window.
Yeah, bro.
Look, the pillars. Yeah, you see that in Roman
Washington.
architecture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
yeah,
I
but
can't go all
it
the way
really
up.
didn't originate in Rome. It came from Petra, like
That's
the brothers
right.
bringing up.
Which proves who the Edomites are, you so-called white people.
Yeah, man. And through the internet, man. Hey, the both sides allowing you devils to be exposed.
Yes, too many links.
If I was Esau, man, I would have been shut down the internet.
A long time ago.
I would have made that. I would have monetized the hell out of it. Every time you got to Google, that shit got to be $300 or something, man. Because the information is just readily available. It's causing everybody, not just us, but everybody to see, man, you people are supplying and crooks.
Knowledge shall increase, man. And it's too many links between you, bro. Well, when you look back into the Romans, their currency favors the U.S. dollar. What else? There's architecture.
Oh yeah, the eagle. Yeah.
Yeah.
The eagle. The Roman numerals are used in the sports here. You
Yeah.
know. The idols, of course, are back. What? The
Senate.
Yeah, the fleet. Yeah, the two parties. It's the same thing all
The
over.
three houses of the legislation. Yeah.
Too many links to Greeks. The coin, when you look at their coins, all got the eagle. You go back to the Germans.
Yep.
The Romans.
Yep.
all had the ears like they eat.
The Russians.
And the patricians,
Huh.
which is the modern day Republicans and Democrats. Okay, all of that stuff is here, man. It ain't new, man. They probably had something similar to the freaking iPhone. Who knows, man? I don't know what the hell they had back then, man. Okay.
The Urim and Thummim.
But yeah, I mean, there's nothing new under the sun, like the scripture said. Okay. But yeah, I don't want to go too much off track. I don't even know where we was reading that. Oh, you were reading that in
Isaiah.
yeah. Like the Bible shop. You finished that ungodly father. Okay. Let's go back to that real quick.
This is back in Isaiah chapter 24, and I'll read verse 22 again. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited.
Right. It says, as prisoners are gathered together in the pit and shall be shut up in prison, and after many days they shall be visited. Now, I'm going to ask the brothers on the other side, what does it mean outside of the shop when it says, after many days they shall be visited?
The 1,000-year captivity, the 1,000-year that they're gonna serve slavery.
Well, after that,
Yeah.
It's gonna be after that.
it's going to be, I'm talking about at the end of that 1,000 years.
That's when they're gonna
Yeah.
be visited.
That's when they're gonna be
Oh,
visited.
okay,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, kind of, yeah, exactly. Yep. After that, the 1,000 years of captivity that we're gonna have, you definitely one of those men. We're gonna have you in slavery. Okay. Then you're gonna be visited, meaning executioner.
Judgment.
You're already in prison, right?
Yeah.
Then the executioner come up with that rope, like, hey, come on, bro.
It's time.
Obadiah,
Yep.
verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Edom a stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have spoken.
Right. It says there shall not be any remaining for the house in the house of Esau, man. Okay? Meaning that he's gonna be extinct. What he plans to do to us by eliminating us from being a people, man, wiping us out, but still,
God.
you know, he wants to have, 500,000 get out version Israelites. Really, he wants to put his spirit, his demonic, wicked, evil spirit in a Jake body, because he look at people like LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And they like, damn, I wanna have a surrogate. And then that movie Surrogates, and Avatar for that matter. Remember the paraplegic? I mean, there's a paraplegic. No, paraplegic was somebody missed a limb. Sorry.
No. The paraplegic.
That's what
He's paralyzed. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
He was like a handicap, whatever, right? No, paraplegic.
No, he was paraplegic.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it was just like somebody who had like one hand or some shit. But yeah, he was. They put him in something like some kind of machine to where he was able to transfer his spirit into a damn alien, basically. But it was like 16 feet tall and could run fast as hell. You know what I'm saying? One with the earth and all that shit. He could breathe the air of the planet. Okay, that's what Esau wants to do, man. With Jacob. Okay, but since he can't soul transfer himself into an Israelite, a 20-year-old Israelite male, he gon' trick you niggas and control you, man. Okay, for those of you who accept the chip, which we're telling you, the chip is the mark of the beast, man.
Right.
And if you read Revelation 14:9, it's bad news bears for those people who take the chip, man. Okay, you had a point?
Yeah, just to bring up similarities, how the brother was going to like all these similarities that you can see back in history that tied to the Edomites and so-called white people today. This is Exodus 15. In 15, it says, then the dukes of Edom shall be amazed. The mighty man of Moab truly shall take hold upon them, and the inhabitants of Canaan shall melt away. We go into that chapter, Moses was singing the song of Moses. You know what I'm saying? I want to make that point because it said the dukes of Edom. You know what I'm saying? Who are known for those dukes over there in Europe, man? The so-called white men. They got those different dukes, man. That's another scripture you can use, man. You know?
What's the I ain't gonna do that. I was gonna say something about Duke's mascot, but I ain't gonna go there.
Hey, I don't know. You see that? You see that all throughout this society, man. They got the Arizona State Sun Devils. That word, that hockey team. I think it's a professional hockey team named Devils.
Yeah, it is.
It runs throughout his society, man. You know.
Esau loves
the devil, the money, the blessing.
That's why all those holidays, the father days, are tied to demonic
sorcery.
Yeah, man.
Ritual.
The Most High, imagine being Esau, man. He don't have no high holy days, man. The Most High didn't give a damn about him to give him a calendar. The Most High didn't even give him no calendar, man.
Bro.
He made his own calendar.
He did,
The Roman calendar.
Yeah.
Ain't that
Gregorian calendar,
That's
which
right.
is really very similar to the Roman calendar. It's like just a couple of discrepancies in there, but yeah, they made that calendar that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all that shit.
And that's
That came from Rome, man.
yeah. And those days go back to different idols, man. Every day of the
Sunday,
week. Sunday.
Day of the Sun.
Saturday, Sabbath.
Yeah. All
Monday.
this, man.
Monday, moon.
Yeah.
Like, come on, but he had to make up his own gods because of his Quas, for example. He made that all these nations, man. But you know, we talking about Esau right now. They making this stuff up, man. The Chinese New Year, which is really probably closer to the actual New Year than freaking Esau's New Year, man. But what? So what makes the difference between the Chinese New Year and an Edomite New Year when it's the same time frame, man? They don't have it. That's the point. Okay? Even the self-proclaimed Jews, okay, over there in Israel right now, they holy days be off, man. Having the Passover way off, Yom Kippur way off, man. Okay, which is the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. I believe you pronounced that right. You know, yeah, the Hanukkah. All of their stuff is off, man. Cause I don't know what they're going to, but it ain't on point. Okay. They probably go by the sun, like the actual month. They probably go by the Gregorian calendar and just do it like the actual 6 day, 6 month, whatever it is, That's why it be all off like that.
No sorry.
But they don't be going towards the according to the lunar calendar. Okay, which is that's what the word month in the Hebrew means. Moon, man. Okay, moon month is interchangeable. Okay, I believe it's Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, what was you holding to finish that? Okay, you know something? Okay, yeah. No, wait, come on. Yeah, come on. I mean, yeah, whatever you need.
All right, come on. This is Revelations chapter 13. And I started verse 14. It says, and he deceived them that dwell on the earth.
Yeah.
By his,
Did you start it out? We're talking about
11.
We're talking about the
Lamb.
Yeah, the lamb. Yeah.
this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 11.
No, because we just talked about the similarities between yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know.
This is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Right. So he had 2 horns like a lamb, and those horns are political parties of the Republicans and the Democrats. Basically, speak softly unto the people, like, oh yeah, we're gonna come subtly. We're gonna provide this for you and that for you. When you elect me as president, I'm gonna be able to provide this thing or that thing for you. Okay. But it says what?
It says he had 2 horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon.
Right, but he spake as a dragon, man. It's deceitful, man. Okay? He's been backstabbing ever since he came over here. Okay? He's been subtly, not really. Yeah, I'll say that he's been beguiling our people, man. There's, that's in Genesis, I believe, the 3rd chapter. Okay? Talk about how the serpent beguiled Eve. He's been beguiling our people, man, ever since he's had the dominion. Okay?
And too, bro, like that, the Democrats and Republicans goes back to the Platonians and patricians, man. which was set up to give people a false sense of power. You know what I'm saying? And like the brother said, hope too,
Yeah.
like they got you in their best
Interest.
Yeah, the choice. You have a choice. You can choose which way, which side you want to. But at the end of the day, it's all the same means to the same end, man.
Exactly.
You're gonna go like how you pick your navigation. You might be driving. Let's say you drive to Missouri or something. You could take this route. It might take you a little bit longer to get there, but it may be the more scenic route. Or you can go this way. It'd be faster, and it's more straight to the point. But you're gonna get to the same destination. That's Republican and Democrat, man. Okay, where the destination is destruction, man. Okay, but you trusting in your oppressor.
Yeah, it's good cop, bad cop, man. Or for lack of better analogy, man, you know, all these politicians, they're all in for the New World Order. Joe Biden or Trump, their best interest is the New World Order, and they don't include Joe's best interest.
Even even the Black Lives Matter marches and rallies. You people are showing your hand. Oh yeah, I'm pro LGBT or I'm against it or all that, man. How is that going to lead to salvation by marching in the streets like a dumbass, asking self-proclaimed white man to have mercy upon you, man? And he's never. Why? Oh yeah, he's gonna just have a change of heart because it's 2021. Now, okay, well, you know, times have changed. You know, it's been 60 years since the Jim Crow law has been lifted. You know, we're gonna give him a chance. Hell no, man. Esau don't give a damn about you niggas, man. You niggas didn't realize that. That nigga was basically Trump was basically patting Kanye West on the head when he came into office, man. He was like, look, bro, we were just supposed to have lunch. This nigga over here pouring his heart out to the president, man. Yeah, oh yeah, look, little pimp. I'm like, get your ass out of here talking. Esau don't care about Jake, man. You're gonna give you niggas that $600 stimulus check, man. And for anybody who take it, you're not wicked for taking it. You're talking about 2/3, man. 2/3 Jake's. They're gonna take that $600 stimulus check and get some rims or, you know, fucking, if they don't already got child support, they gonna, you know, get a PS4. Shit, you can't even get a PS5, really. Unless you know somebody. You probably get like 2 pair of Jordans, scuff them hoes up in about 2 months, and be through, man.
Hey, that shit down there, I think it was like a hurricane or something, happened down there to the morning.
Puerto Rico.
That nigga was throwing paper towels like it was a game, man. Like you ain't ate shit in weeks.
Yeah.
You ain't took a bath, you ain't had nothing to wipe your face. And this nigga just throwing them out like it's a damn game, man.
3-point
Hey, he make you a butter. Hey, Israel is a butter of joke, man. To the whole world, man.
Yeah, bro. You're a poach. You're a castaway, man. You're a spit. You're nothing. But y'all love this, man.
Let me see. It says verse 12. And he exerciseth all the powers of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose daily womb was healed.
That first beast was what? The Roman Empire, man. Okay? And that deadly wound, when he was cut off, he was allowed to be healed or rebirthed as the American Empire, you call it, man. Really? Because, you know, they probably didn't really like. They just called it Babylon. They didn't call it the Babylonian Empire back then. You know, they didn't call. I mean, you know, probably might have called it the Roman Empire, but this place doesn't really necessarily call it empire, but it is an empire. And when it falls, it's going to be more obvious that it was empire because all empires fall. That's why they don't want to give themselves the title of, oh yeah, the empire of, you know, of America. You know, because they all fall, man. But that ain't gonna prevent them from falling. It just, you know, gonna make you people think that we don't believe in the Bible. It's gonna make y'all people think that it's gonna continue forever. Yeah. Like, bro, just look at the debt. Like, look at the amount of debt that has been amassed. Even like in the last not even 100 years, 50 years, bro. Like 1 year, man. The debt is like ridiculous, like an exorbitant amount, bro. Coming back from like trillions, bro. Trillions.
No coming back.
You know how much? Like imagine a trillion $1 bills, bro. The whole downtown would be full of ones. You wouldn't be able to fit them, bro. Like, imagine how much money that would be, bro. Even if even a trillion $100 bills, for that matter, they'd probably still be able to fill up a whole dang on building or something. That's how much debt America's in, bro. Which this is supposed to be the backbone of the world economy. Like, come on, man. Yeah, it's like 28 trillion or some shit like that.
Continuing on, verse 13, it says that he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Hey, bro, you read this chapter, man, Esau got hey, you heard it all down, bro. Esau showing Esau's God complex, man. He's making fire come down. Who did that? Who did that first? Yeah, how about some y'all was shot, man? You know? We know Elijah called fire. We know called for that fire and it came down. Esau wants to be just like the Most High, like the book, like the priest I said earlier, man. He got that God complex, man. You know? It says, verse 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth.
And every kingdom that had leaders that thought that they were the Most High, they were all brought down, man. Okay? Starting with, you had Egypt, Aaron. You had the Babylon, really the king of Babylon thought, oh damn, we didn't even finish that. In Daniel, the specific part when he boasted himself against the Most High, because we wanted to, yeah, that was the reason why, it was one scripture you read in Sirach, talking about exalting yourself. It made me go to this, but did we, I don't know, I don't remember when we stopped. Go ahead,
Daniel 4:28. All this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon.
Right, so a year later, you know, after it was prophesied unto him, you know, a year passed by, and he, you know, tra-la-la-la-la. Okay, go ahead.
The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power?
Right.
That nigga talking big smash. And for the honor of my majesty.
Yeah, he was built up, man. He was built up in his head. And he, you know, he had that thought, and he basically exclaimed within himself, well, not within himself, but out loud, like, man, look, I did this, man. It's not this big ass palace that I built in the midst of Babylon for mine own strength. And was it not meant to exalt me, the great Nebuchadnezzar? And that was when the Most High put his smack on his ass, man. And took him out of the candy land that he was in and brought his ass down to nothingness, man. For 7 years. That ain't a short time. For like, you know, a man's lifetime. That ain't like 7 days. That's like a long ass time. Go ahead.
Verse 31, while the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee.
Right. So a voice from heaven might have been a voice of the Most High, probably a voice of the angel, you know, we don't know, but it says a voice from heaven saying, look, I'm talking to you. Kingdom no longer yours. And then what happened?
And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men.
Right, so the fulfilling of what was prophesied to him a year before, he probably forgot and everything. He was like, damn, that's happening right now after what I just did. It was all the will of the Most High, man. Show him. You don't control shit.
And giveth it to whomsoever he will. The same hour was a thing fulfilled of the same hour. We heard that voice in the
Got him up out of there.
same hour, bro. The same hour was a thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were grown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. Bro.
So, he was
Crazy.
Probably crawling on all fours, they praying and shit. Probably in the little Tarzan cloth over shit, if that. Hey, bro, he had long ass demonic ass fingernails and shit, man.
Looking like a beast.
Yeah. They said his hair grew as eagle's feathers, man. Meaning he just beard, hair, everything. You know, Assyrians, they real hairy, you know, so he probably looked like a fucking bear or something, man. I don't know what he looked like. But he didn't look regular, man. He was eating grass, man. Man, that's a real vegan for your ass, man. That's why I turned into a vegan, boy.
I got two actually. These on that same script, man. So why 40 and 26? Riches and strength lift up the heart. What's the point, man? Riches and strength lift up the heart, man. Esau got all of it, man. And he lifted up, man.
Right. That's the point. Go ahead, get real.
This Ezekiel 28 and 3, it says, "Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver to thy treasure."
The scriptures say, I believe in 1 Corinthians, knowledge puffeth up. Like once you get amass a certain amount of knowledge, that's where we get the term barbershop prophets. Okay, they get 17 precepts in their system, and they look like the smartest dude in the room. Because the dude cutting the hair, he don't give he just got done smoking blunt, finna go smoke another blunt probably, or do whatever, you know, whatever Jake in the world be doing. But you know, it's impressive for somebody who don't know nothing. Okay? But you know, you over here thinking that you're this great individual with all this understanding, which is great to have understanding, but it's even better to apply the understanding, which if you had real understanding and wisdom, I should say, which is the application of knowledge, then you would go to the highways and byways and you would learn from the tremendous teaching. If you can't do that for some reason, no transportation or whatever, I don't know how you can, but if you can, then you read, man. And you watch videos and you come up with an understanding, so you build up the faith and the courage, because it takes courage and strength, spiritual fortitude to be willing to come out here and even listen, man, let alone preach. Okay? So, okay, go ahead.
Verse 5, it says, "By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches."
Right, man. So he's been made proud, thinking that he's the Most High, when little does he know, in a short period of time, wisdom is going to be stripped. Well, not even wisdom, but the little sliver of understanding that he's been given, man, is going to be stripped from him, man. Okay? And we're going to be very excited to see that, man. He's going to be made like the caveman and the beast and the low base individual that he is, man. Okay? When all of the power is stripped from him. That was it on that?
Fine, brother.
Okay, hold the shot.
Okay, this is Obadiah. Okay, Obadiah, verse 8. "Shall I not in that day, said Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, even destroy the wisdom out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau?"
Right, because you know he got all of these car factories and he's developing this technology, you know, constantly advancing, right? But it says he's going to extract that from him. That wisdom that he has is going to be taken away from him. Which I believe it was touched on a little bit last week about basically the possibility of having wisdom stripped from you, man. Like us, we can have it taken away from us, man. Okay, and that's why we remain humble. That's the point of it, man. Okay, because we're gonna be, hey, like the scripture says, Psalm 91, only with thine eyes shall thou see the reward of the wicked. Okay, we're gonna be like, damn, like on Friday, damn, we're gonna see what's gonna happen to those people who walk according to their own lust, man. Okay?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, man, it's spiritual, because we about to go back to Isaiah 14. This came out Friday at him, and bro, it's spiritual, bro. Hey, the Lord is saying, bro, this place is done, bro. Like it talks about in the book of Daniel, with many tekel, Thou waited, thou found want. Oh, this place, the Lord is waited this place. This place found want. This place is good, bro.
It's found, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, where it says that God weighed the balance and found one.
It has that.
It's gonna. It has. I'll say that it's a retribution that's coming.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16. They that see thee shall nearly look upon thee.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna look down upon you. As a matter of fact, Isaiah 66, like the last, let's say like the last 5 verses, for example. Read again, Bob.
They that see thee shall nearly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Right. They're gonna look narrowly upon you, meaning you looking narrowly upon you. Look, the angle in which you're perceiving somebody is gonna be narrow. It's gonna you looking down like, damn, this nigga right here was the nigga that we couldn't even smell because he was 80 stories up in this, you know, or 800 miles away in another country, you know, 2,800 miles away, more accurately, you know, in another place chilling, or you know, 5 miles underground. This the man right here that caused the earth to tremble, the man that owned the record label companies and the media production companies and the news companies and press companies and the bank companies, you know, the man that got all the power but nobody sees this man right here. This nigga's nothing. That's what's gonna happen. You got that? Yeah, let's see the story.
When I was a little kid, man.
What's the last verse? Is it 24 the last verse? Okay, well then you might as well just start at verse 22.
Okay, this is Isaiah 66 and 22. It says, for as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, so shall your seed and your names remain.
Wait. It says your seeds. Wait, hold on. It says, so as the earth. Read again about that.
Isaiah 66 and 22. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord.
It says, so as the new heavens and the new earth, which I shall make, shall remain before me. Which those new heavens and new earth will be eternal. Okay. Go ahead.
It says, so shall your seed and your name remain.
Right. So shall your seed and your name remain. So our offspring in the kingdom of heaven, we will be having offspring in the kingdom of heaven. And they're going to be remaining just like how we will remain in eternity, man. They're going to have immortality. Just like how the men of the Lord, the elect, 144,000, will be the first fruits of those of that kingdom, man, and of that blessing. All right?
Verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all...
Wait. One new moon. Whoa. Wait. It says one new moon to another? Not one full moon, but a new moon, right? Okay, that's
another.
Right, which is a new moon. The new moon is a new month. The new moon is a new month. Right. Yeah, it's weird. The night is a new moon. Not the full moon. Okay? Not no random days after 30 days or after 31 days. Okay? It's like the new moon, man. Okay? Go ahead, bro.
It says, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, says the Lord.
Right. Holy convocation. It says all flesh, man, including the other nations. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have been transgressed against me.
Whoa! It says they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men. Now let's go back to that in Isaiah 14. Bro. Read that part where it says they shall carry upon them. Read that. We're going to read that again.
Isaiah 14 and 16. They that see thee shall nearly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Right.
That did shake kingdoms?
Right.
They made the man that made the earth to tremble. Yeah. Is this the man?
He's gonna be brought down.
He on spin how he walk in the camera. Yup.
Because in the kingdom, man, you're gonna be put to death, man.
That's right.
You're gonna be put to death, man. You deserve it, man. You don't have no fear of the Most High, no reverence for the Most High, and this is what's gonna happen to you, man.
Verse Isaiah 66:24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.
Right. That means how you gonna be able to see a carcass if it's buried? It's not gonna be buried, man. You be made an open example, man. You gonna be slain, and you gonna be visible. Your carcasses are gonna be visible, man. That's a dishonorable death, man. And you're gonna be left in the streets. Ain't nobody gonna give a damn about you people, man. You're gonna be slain, you Edomites, man. Putting all types of hell on you Edomites, man, and any other nation that, and really it's not even gonna be necessary because the Edomites are gonna be the example, man. Okay? Esau is gonna be the example, man. The kingdom is gonna have order, man. Okay? These other nations are gonna get out a lot if they want to, man. But Esau gonna buck up the most, man. He gonna have it in his spirit to be willing to attempt to be on par with the Most High. Man. He gonna remember that kingdom that he just had, okay? Because it's gonna be shit. It's gonna be rubbed in his face. You know, like the red, like the tree. Is this the man? It's not gonna be like he's just gonna not have no remembrance of the kingdom that he just got pulled out of. Okay. The other nations gonna be like, damn, yeah, you the man, you know, a couple hundred years ago.
It said in verse 10, it say, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
Right. Which means there's gonna be a power transfer, paradigm shift. Who's the nation that's gonna have the power, man? If I was Esau, man, I would try my best to burn every Bible, to erase every Israelite video you can find, man. Even though it ain't gonna do nothing, it ain't gonna stop nothing. Okay, because this place is still, but it's all going to the will of the Most High, man. You really couldn't even shut down the internet, probably, unless he tries to, man. Because the information is already out there. You know?
This is, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched.
Right, man. They're gonna consistently be in a state of hell, and the individuals that try to buck up. You know, of course they're gonna die, but we're gonna put hell on them too, man. It says the worm shall not die, meaning that, you know, what happens during the decomposition, worms feast on your flesh, right? Okay, and it says the fire shall not what? Be quenched. Yep. Okay, meaning that fire that's gonna be basically, you know, not rough paraphrase, but in a nutshell, it's gonna be on his ass. Okay, because what does fire do? Consume, right? He's not gonna stop being consumed until he's utterly consumed.
The parable of Lazarus and the rich man. Oh, yeah. It said he was buried, and saying hell seen the poor man, Abraham's bosom, man, and those blessed. That's going against. That's talking about us, man. That transitioning, man. As the brother talked about, man, from one kingdom to another, man. You know, now Esau gonna be brought down, man. That's why I say he's gonna be. The rich man was buried. He was brought down, man. You know.
That's a good example, man, because it talks about that great gulf fix. That's a stumbling block to Christians. They think that great gulf is talking about, you know, spiritual heaven and spiritual hell beneath the earth, and spiritual heaven above the earth, and Lazarus, you know, he's up there in heaven, looking at the rich man all the way past earth into hell, and they talking from however many miles away that is. No, man. That's gonna be the separation of the spirit in the spirit. That's gonna be obvious in that day when we have immortality, we have dominion, we have rulership, and you have nothing.
He said he was tormented. I am
Tormented in this flame. He said, I am tormented. Is he literally gonna be literally getting burned? I am tormented in this flame. Give me one drop of water so I can. No, man, he gonna want. But it's gonna be looking for anything to comfort him, man. You know. But he's not gonna find it. He's not gonna get nowhere. Okay? Because no mercy was shown unto us. Okay? So, you know,
It says, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Everybody gonna hate Esau. Even other nations gonna hate Esau.
well, they already doing the war, man. That's gonna turn these other nations against. Like who wants to agree with a person that don't want to agree with nobody that doesn't want to agree with them, man? Who wants to consistently submit themselves? So that's why Trump, foreign relations during his administration have drastically declined because he's a super proud ass asshole, man. You know. Now we like it, man, because the nations are, we believe that that's making them more angry. Okay, but that just shows you the nature of Esau. He's a proud demon. He's so inconsiderate that he thinks that the word that he's speaking is so much more important than everybody else. He just continues to fucking talk until he feels like so you get out. But in the kingdom, man, you won't be able to shut your price up. You're not gonna be able to do that goofy ass shit, man. Okay? And a beheading is gonna be mercy, man. They might fucking rip your throat out, something, man. Something's gonna happen, man, to where, hey, that's why we meditate terror. You know what I'm saying? You meditate terror, man. At the end of the day, because we know destruction, man. Destruction is coming to Babylon, man. That's why we say above all, man. Okay? We pray to Yahweh shall to bring Babylon down.
Somebody come in and killed all her family.
Because we know him. That's why we come out here so fervent. If you knew that there was a means to an end of this place, that there's eventually going to be a day that is America's last day, wouldn't you push harder for that day to come, man? Wouldn't you show gratitude towards the opportunity to escape that destructive day? That's why we're out here. Okay? What you got, bro?
Isaiah 14 and 17 that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. You know, you look at Syria, these war-tattered countries over in the Middle East that's been ravished by the so-called white man Edom. You know, bombing them to hell, innocent women and children destroyed. You know, their habitations look like deserts, man. And there was a picture, I had seen this picture of what these countries looked like before war from the Edomite and after, man. It's like night and day. You know? And it said, open not the house of his prisoners, man. You got the prison industrial complex, man. With you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, they make a profit on it. That's the modern day slavery, man. You know? Continuing on, Isaiah 14 and 18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them lying glory, every one in his own house. It's going into after the 1,000-year period of slavery for the 17 heathen nations. Okay, the heathens are going to be allotted. Everybody but the Edomites are going to be allotted their own lands. They're going to, their own lands. They'll have their own, their own inheritance, man. They're going to be good. They're going to be tributaries to the Israelites, but they're going to be good. Now, for the Edomite, this is what's going to happen to you. Verse 19, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, they go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. So you're going to be extinct, exterminated, man. You're going to be taken out of your hell by extermination. You know, that's what it say, out of thy grave, man. out of hell, out of Shawwal, that grave, that hellish state.
Esau's finished. But like I said, in the kingdom, like this is what I said actually, in the kingdom, you know, you're gonna have your lands and everything like that, but you're gonna be tributaries. Let me get that precept real quick.
This is Zechariah 14, and I started at 16. It says, and it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Israel shall even go up from year to year to worship the King Yahweh by Shemaiah Shai post, and to keep the feast of the tabernacles. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King Yahweh by Shemaiah Shai post, even upon them shall be no rain.
Right. So it's it's committed unto the Israelites originally to come to Jerusalem during the Feast of Tabernacles. That's one of the three. The other one is the Passover, and I believe it's the Pentecost, right? What they call the Feast of Weeks. Okay, first fruits, right? So let's go ahead and read that again. Well, the last part where it talks about they shall have no rain, verse 17 says,
Verse 17, it says, it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
yeah. Even upon them shall be no rain upon the other nations that don't come up to worship the Most High, man. Because basically what they're going to be doing is bucking up against His will. Okay, they need to bend the knee, right? Go ahead.
Verse 18, and if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, it says, and come not, that have, it's like I start over, verse 18, and if the family of Egypt go not up, and come not, that have no rain, there shall be plagues wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Right, so not only is there not going to be rain, but there's going to be plagues, okay? There's going to be plagues, man, just like how there was plagues during Egypt, okay? And plagues are coming back to this place. We see that one of the plagues being the whatever you want to call it, COVID-19. I was trying to think of the Crown Royale virus, man. Okay, that's one of the plagues that's coming. Plagues of the mind. A lot of Americans are demented. That's why the drug industry is so fruitful, man. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 19, it says, this shall be the punishment of Egypt and the punishment of all nations that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
That's it.
I do believe.
You got a question, man?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Don't let them step on the signs.
Hey, see, I didn't see that down the bottom.
Let's just keep reading. What you got for us?
You know what? Bullshit. This one you had on the picture.
I said it was talking about Isaiah 14 and 19, just correcting myself. He says, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an arm of your branch, and as a raiment of those of the sea, forced through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trying to the food. I said that word there for grave is wall, but it's arm. It says like tomb.
I mean, you know, shroud wall isn't the only word for grave in the Hebrew, but we bring it out because we know that people, when they see the word hell, they think of the spiritual realm, just think, they think of the Hades, right? They think of that, you know, that realm that doesn't exist, and when it's just a spirit, it's just a spiritual realm. Yeah, the spiritual world is that's all it is. All of the matter of fact, that scripture in Job, what is that? Job the second chapter. I think that's in Job the second chapter where it talks about the weary being at rest. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. It might be the third chapter. Scripture and Job were talking about the evil and the good go to the same place. It's Job 3, right? Job 3 and 13. Everybody got a first.
This Job chapter 3 and verse 13. For now should I have lain still and been quiet, I should have slept, then had I been in rest, with kings and counselors of the earth, which build desolate places for themselves, or with princes that had gold, who filled their houses with silver, or as in hidden untimely birth, I had not been as infants which never saw light.
Yeah, because Job was going through so much hell, he wished that he pretty much was never born. Because this was when the Lord allowed Satan to take away what he had, which was a lot, including his family and also his possessions. Okay?
Verse 17, it says, there the wicked cease from troubling. And
We're
there,
talking about the spiritual world. Okay? Spiritual realm. It says, there the wicked cease from troubling. When they die, their spirits go to the spirit world, right? So,
No, it
go
does
ahead.
not say
it
that.
says, in there the
During
weary
the
be at rest.
rapture happening,
There
God
the
said,
rest.
I'm going to call the
There
dead
the
and Christ shall
prisoners
rise
rest together.
first.
They hear not the voice of the oppressor.
right, so the prisoners and the oppressor,
See, all that
it
is
says the
they're
prisoners
just
rest
trying to
together,
teach you
but it
something.
says the
Really,
wicked,
all you need to know
basically
is
they
that
cease,
Jesus died on
trouble.
the cross for your
Go ahead.
sins.
Verse 19, the small and the great are there. The servant is free
by
from his
Bob
master.
Dawson, who was a
Wherefore the
missionary
light
to
is
Brazil,
given to him.
to the Ethiopian Indians,
Okay.
who were
Yeah. So you have the wicked and the righteous all in the heavens, man.
Well, you know what the
They're all in
devil
the
is?
spiritual world.
It's a swampland.
Okay.
You know where they
So they're
live?
free from
In
the
the high
burdens
ground. That's where
of
they
this
live
place,
together.
which this is the place of judgment, man.
Because
Okay,
there was a
that's
high
why we got to
ground.
endure. This is the war. This is the battleground, man. Really, this is the
There's no
prison
battle,
sentence.
dude.
Okay.
God said
Which
they
is
were
why
angry.
Back up,
the
back
judge
up.
on this place, man. On this
Don't
earth.
step on these
I
signs.
didn't see.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Hey,
Yeah, see,
like,
but anyway, we're not supposed to battle. God said, don't argue about the word.
Isaiah
And
14
you
and
said,
20.
"Come here and argue."
Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
right. And that's where we go. That's the common
That
theme.
church in your heart.
The seed of
You had to go
evildoers,
to a building.
which is
God
the
didn't
seed
tell
of the
his
serpent,
disciples go to a
is
building.
going to be cut off.
Like people go to church on
Next
Sunday.
verse.
Matter of fact, Sunday ain't gonna be fucking holiday.
Prepare slaughter
Saturday.
for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers.
Right,
Right, man.
which is
And that's what we're looking forward to,
fucking
man.
Sunday.
Okay, we're looking for
Easter
slaughter.
Sunday is
We're
a
looking
fake
forward to the
holiday.
slaughter of the
It
children
was
of
Easter
Esau.
Saturday. It wasn't
Okay,
Easter
why?
Sunday.
Because he had joy
know what
and
I'm
pleasure
talking about.
in slaughtering us.
I'm
man.
a theologian.
And if it was,
Hey,
well,
buddy.
really,
Hey,
it
buddy,
pretty
I'm
much is
thank
legal
you,
because
thank you.
them cops be getting away with that shit, man. For the most part, they might lose their job, but they get a big ass pension and a GoFundMe lump sum, and they probably get paid more by for killing a nigga than by leaving them alive.
It says whose possessors slay them and owe themselves not guilty.
Yep. They don't give a damn about Jake. Okay? And if this Edomite had a gun in his hand and he was out in the middle of nowhere, he probably would have sprayed all of us by now. Okay? His war is in his heart. Okay? Go ahead.
That they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with sin.
That's exactly what Pharaoh tried to do to the Egyptians. Excuse me, Pharaoh tried to do to the Israelites when we were in Egypt. What did he try to do? He tried to cut off all of the sons so that we couldn't populate. Okay, so that's what we're actually going to do: population control on Esau in the kingdom, man. Okay, ultimately by cutting them off, man. The Lord is going to allow for that. Okay, and that's what we pray for. That's why we so fervent. We know that when the cancer of the earth is removed, this, hey man, Esau is a real virus, man. He's the real plague of the earth. Parasite, demon, all of that, man. Right. Yeah, it says those that were younger than I have me in derision, man. We got to deal with this nigga in Babylon. That's already punishment enough, man. Okay? So that's why we like, man, if you're not in the spirit to be want to be delivered from this place, man, you're not in the right spirit, man. If you thinking that you're gonna be able to win, and this man is still in power, man, and he's still in his country, or he's still under his jurisdiction, man. You got another thing coming, man. We're gonna wrap it up with the last piece.
So Mark 10 and 10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die.
Right. Today, you know, he's important. Hey, today he is a king, right? But tomorrow he ain't gonna be nobody, man. He's gonna be dusted off. He's gonna be wiped out, man. No longer important. Okay? We're looking for the day where Esau is irrelevant, man. Okay? So Lord willing, this is edifying. With that, we give all praise and honor and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash.
Jump honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. So long.
Shalom.